When life has broken you, there will come a day when you wake up and everything feels different. Not in the way a new day should. Not with promise. Not with hope. But this is the kind of different that grips your chest like an iron vice, that dulls the colors of the world, that makes even the smallest act, standing, breathing, existing, feel like an unbearable weight. You stare at the ceiling. Minutes pass. Hours. Time becomes meaningless. And then it happens. That thought. The one that whispers, soft yet deafening, "Why am I even here?" You try to shake it off. You tell yourself it's just exhaustion, just a passing moment. But it lingers. It waits. And soon, it's not just a thought. It's a presence. You try to move, get up, push forward, do something, anything, but life has emptied you out. You look at the person in the mirror, and they are unrecognizable. Hollow. Shattered. There was a time when you believed in something. When you thought the world was full of endless possibility. You had dreams. Plans. A vision. But life has a way of taking. It takes without warning. Without mercy. It takes what you love, what you trust, what you thought would last forever. One by one, the pieces fall. A missed opportunity. A betrayal. A devastating loss. A dream torn away before it even had the chance to live. And then, silence. Not the kind that brings peace, but the kind that suffocates. You don't tell anyone. You don't have the words. And even if you did, who would understand? You watch the world move on without you. You see people laughing, living, chasing something you can no longer grasp. It feels like the world has locked you out. Like you are no longer part of it. Then one day, something shifts. Not outside. Not in the world. A single thought. A question. Not why am I here? But what if I refuse to disappear? You had dreams once. Not just dreams, convictions. A fire inside you. A reason to wake up, to push, to fight. You built something. A vision, a future, a belief that you were meant for something more. But life does not ask for permission when it decides to break you. It does not knock before it enters. It does not whisper before it roars. One moment, everything is in place. The next, it is gone. You try to hold it together. At first, you fight. You scramble, you fix, you search for the cracks, thinking maybe, just maybe, you can repair what is falling apart. But then another hit, and another, and another. A call you never wanted to receive. A door closed in your face. A friend who disappears when you need them most. A dream crushed under the weight of a single word. No, it doesn't happen all at once. That's the cruelest part. It happens in fragments. Pieces of you, chipped away, day by day, moment by moment. At first, you think it's temporary. A setback. A lesson. But then the days stretch into weeks. The weeks into months. The months into years. And one morning, you wake up and realize you don't recognize the person in the mirror anymore. You were once strong. You were once unshakable. But now you are just trying to survive. And that's okay. Because here's the thing about being broken. It feels like an ending. It feels like the final chapter of a book that was never meant to be finished this way. But endings are just beginnings in disguise. You don't see it yet. You won't. Not today. Not tomorrow. Because pain does not reveal its purpose in the moment. It waits. It lingers. It breaks you down, and then, when you least expect it, it does something else. But before that moment comes, before the light breaks through, you must face the darkness. And that is where the real battle begins. The hardest part is not the pain, not the loss, not the betrayal, not even the moment your world was torn apart. The hardest part is the silence that follows. When the world moves on, but you are stuck. Stuck in a moment that refuses to end. Trapped inside a day that never seems to pass. People talk about healing. They say time will fix it, that one day you'll be okay. But time doesn't feel like a healer. Time feels like a prison. They said they would be there. The ones who called you family. The ones who promised they would never leave. Where are they now? You don't blame them. Not really. People get tired of sadness they don't understand. They grow uncomfortable with pain that has no expiration date. At first, they check in. Then, The calls become less frequent. Then silence. Not out of cruelty, not out of malice, but because the world does not stop for broken things. And then there's the mirror, that stranger looking back at you. Once you knew them. Once their eyes burned with something bright, hope, hunger, life. But now those eyes are hollow. Now that reflection is someone else entirely. You whisper to yourself, not in words, but in questions. What happened to me? How did I become this person? Is this all I will ever be? This is the moment that defines you. Not the victories, not the applause, not the days when everything made sense. But now, in this empty space where no one is watching, because this is where the real battle begins. Not against the world, not against the people who left, but against the voice inside your own mind. You are not broken. You are being transformed. Pain is not your end. It is your awakening. The human spirit is forged in the fire of suffering. You think this is where it ends? But this is where you begin again. No one sees what it takes. No one sees the nights spent in silence, the battles fought in the dark, the war waged inside your own mind. No one sees the moments when you almost gave up. But you didn't. Something inside you refused to surrender. Something inside you, no matter how small, no matter how buried, fought to hold on. Do you know what that means? It means you are not done. You were not meant to stay broken. You were meant to rebuild. Resilience is not loud. It does not announce itself. It does not arrive with fanfare or celebration. Resilience is quiet. It is the whisper that says one more step. The voice that urges just one more try. The force that refuses to let you quit even when everything tells. Pause. You can rise. You will rise. One step, one decision, one moment of defiance. This is where it begins. Not in the big victories, not in the moments of grand success, but in the quiet, in the ordinary, the first breath after the storm, the first step forward even when your legs feel like they might give way, the first decision to move when everything inside you wants to stay still. This is where you reclaim your power. No matter how deep the wound, no matter how fractured your soul, no matter how broken you feel, the heart still beats. Pain does not have to be permanent. It does not have to define you. It is a teacher, a painful, unrelenting teacher, but still a teacher. The heart still beats, even in the darkest moments. Even when everything in your mind tells you to stop, the heart still beats. This is not your end. This is where you begin again. A new story starts with one simple decision, and you've already made it. Stand up. You are not broken. You are remade. You are not lost. You are on your way. One step, one decision, one moment of defiance. This is your comeback. The ones who rise from the ashes. They are the legends. The ones who keep moving even when every muscle in their body is screaming for rest, even when their spirit feels on the brink of collapse. They are the ones who change the world. Your story is not over. It is just beginning, because you are not defined by what broke you. You are defined by what you do next. You are not defined by the weight of the world that tried to crush you. You are defined by your ability to rise despite it. The human spirit is never meant to be destroyed. It is meant to be stretched, tested, and forged over and over again. Like steel, like fire. The more you face, the stronger you become. And so it is with you. Every struggle, every failure, every tear you have shed, these are the building blocks of your resilience. You too will rise. You too will stand when others would have fallen. You are not broken. You are not lost. You are the proof that the human spirit cannot be destroyed. When life has broken you, remember this. Strength is not never falling. It is rising every single time. Each time you fell, it was not your end. It was the beginning of something more powerful, something stronger, something only those who have been broken can understand. You are not weak for having fallen. You are resilient for having risen. Your pain has a purpose. It shapes you, it molds you, and though it may seem endless at times, it is what brings you the wisdom to rise. Your scars tell a story of battle, of struggle, of moments when you thought you could not continue. And yet, here you are. And your heart is unbreakable. It has beaten through the storms, through the silence, through the moments when you thought it had no more strength. But it is still here. You are still here. In spite of everything. In spite of the trials, the heartache, the days when you felt like you could never get back up, you are still here. And that is enough. No matter where you have been, no matter how broken you felt, this is not your end. This is your rebirth. You are unbreakable. If you found strength in these words, if you're ready to rise, to reclaim your power, subscribe and join us on this journey. Remember, you are never alone. Click the bell to never miss a story of resilience, of power, of triumph, and subscribe now. Together, we rise.